に下のも硬いぞ。ガードが。
この人いつも一言多い。
共食いしている気分になるから。
おお、今日も先輩のジョークは重いぜ。
This is what you got to look forward to for 13 episodes. Seitokai Yakuindomo, or SYD for short, its main gimmick is the fact that Suda plays a straight man around characters who spit out various different sexual references or jokes, and that's fine for a while, but it becomes abundantly clear that this plays one note for the whole series, just like Mr. Bean did at the 2012 Olympics. And that's fine, you can have sexual humour in your anime. I mean, there's clearly no shortage of that, but when the whole anime is based around this, it becomes clear that it's going to get old really bloody fast. It also doesn't help by the end of the first episode, you already caught on to how formulaic the series is, so much so that the anime itself jokes about this. Just because you are aware of your formula doesn't give you a free pass. It just shows that you're lazy to change it up. The characters are fine. Suda plays a straight man within the series, Shino, the president, who's just the best at everything, Aria, who's sort of the airhead of the group, and Suzu, the super genius, but very hot-headed and sensitive about her height. There are a few side characters within the series, such as the president of the newspaper club, who is just literally this monochromic bisexual, I'm guessing. There's also the maid, who has a real fetish for smelling things, and then there's this one girl who's completely afraid of men. I mean, we're not all that bad of people, come on. But, however, my main gripe with this is the fact that they add 3 new characters who we haven't seen before in the show, and are introduced in the last few episodes, which is bloody ridiculous. Why have these people show up if they don't have any screen time whatsoever? I mean, we see more of this character in the bloody intro than we do in the anime. What purpose do you serve? This anime is barely strung together by some sort of a plot. That can be said for a lot of slice of life animes, as they're pretty much just like a day in the life of these characters. And I feel as if, particularly with this anime, that you could easily cut out 5 minutes and you wouldn't even notice. The jokes are okay, but again, its formula completely ruins it, as you can already expect what they're going to say and what type of joke it is. And don't get me wrong, this isn't because I don't enjoy this humour. Far from it, in fact. One of my favourite shows is actually the BBC sitcom known as Bottom, which has so much innuendos.
Oh God, I'm shaking like a leaf. Eddie, I need a stiff one.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. Do you want me to answer the door?
No, I mean a drink, you fool.
The anime throws so many of these sort of jokes at you that it becomes stale really bloody fast. This isn't funny. You can't just keep saying the exact same things in different versions and expect it to still hold up. There are some great jokes here to be found, but to be honest, they're the non-sexual ones. And what does that say about this anime? The whole gimmick of it is actually stale compared to the other humour? Come on! But in all honesty, they are probably the best moments in this series when they don't do those sort of sexually focused jokes. Overall, I think for the first season, it's fine. But I wouldn't recommend ever watching it again because it really does not hold up whatsoever. If you're into this sort of humour, I'm presuming you're a teenager, you'll get a kick out of it. It does become formulaic really fast and it runs for far too long. I was dreading this because it was dragging on for too long. Give it a watch one time, but don't return to it because it really does not hold up. Alright, that's season 1 done. You know, it's strange. I wasn't really a massive fan of the first season, so you would assume straight away that I would be attacking this one. But hold your horses, because this may surprise you. I think this one is far superior than the previous season. Don't get me wrong, the formula is still here and is still as bland as ever before, but again, I feel the humour was better written than this one than it was in the first. The sexual jokes are still here, but they add in a lot more cutaway gags to add in more variety of the humour, rather than just relying on its really rubbish formula. Another plus I have to give it is the characters. In the first season, new characters were introduced near the end of that season, whereas here, straight away, we're introduced to the side characters and new faces in the first episode, so when they pop up during the anime, it feels less forced and it gives them enough screen presence to make them stand out. The animation quality has definitely improved. It's been about 4 years since between the 2 seasons, but it still keeps to the same art direction, just at a really better quality. But that doesn't mean they don't exploit their higher budget with flashier text and those really sexy shots of the school. I mean, just look at those gorgeous 3D dimensional anime buildings. So good. Honestly, I'd say give this one a watch. It's better written, various different gags that improve on the whole crude humour aspect of the show. But again, by the halfway mark, it can kind of drag a little. Again, it does feel like it's going to be way shorter than it should be. Overall, this one is just far better than the first one. Although that's just because I haven't seen it before. Maybe in a few years time I might rewatch this and see if it still holds up. As of now, it's a pretty good watch. Go check it out. Alright, that's all. And remember, kiddies.
王妻学園生徒会開則第2条第4項読んだエロ本はクラスのみんなで回し読み